of some bad news for James Bond fans right now that Amazon has just announced that they have complete creative control of the franchise moving forward and whatever they'll be working on here in the near future. So this comes to us from Amazon. Amazon MGM Studios announces new joint venture with Michael G. Wilson and Barbara Broccoli for James Bond franchise rights. Now, we've seen Amazon already absolutely desecrate and ruin things. Look at what happened with Rings of Power, which of course I've covered on here before. That was such a gigantic mess at season 2. I didn't even really care to dunk on it that much for season 2. It was that irrelevant to me. But what we'd already seen was the whole, okay, the big changes with Galadriel going with more of that girl boss with the sword narrative instead of, I mean, Galadriel was already incredibly powerful. She was actually nerfed if we really look at it that way. So you had that. You also have like obviously the race swaps that didn't belong. And of course, the orcs being just innocent little refugees, like wanting you to feel sorry for the orcs who are, actually in Tolkien's universe, Middle Earth is supposed to be evil. So you have that. You've got Amazon, who now are in charge of a lot of Tomb Raider properties as well that I've been talking about. We got like the TV show with Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who's going to ruin that. So they actually work with just an absolute franchise killer, right? Look at what she did with Indiana Jones. So she's going to absolutely ruin Tomb Raider. If you want to know like some videos about that I've talked about, I have that here on this channel. That will be ruined. Also, they're working on a movie. It's like they want to ruin everything that people love, right? So and they also will be a part of the next Tomb Raider game. Crazy, right? Like they actually are funding the next mainline Tomb Raider game. Now, not to be mistaken with what we've seen with the remasters. The remasters have been fantastic, but those have been made by Saber, developed by Saber, and published by Aspyr. So that was handed off to a completely different hands. So I expect a disaster with all of that, and I probably expect a disaster with this as well, because especially with something so notoriously having a strong male lead, especially a strong white male lead, a masculine lead, you can't have that in woke ideology, right? That's everything that this woke ideology is against, and woke ideology is inherently satanic. So I strongly believe that it was even pushed into society by Satan. And that's why we've seen it infiltrated in our media as well, because media is just meant to program people and brainwash people with stuff. And I've spent so much time on this channel talking about all of this stuff happening. And so many people will be in the comments, why do you care? Why do you care? It's just a video game. Why do you care? It's just a TV show. It's just a movie. Why do you care? Why do you care if they have this gay stuff in it? Who cares? Why do you care if they have this fornication? And it's like, do you not realize this is a much bigger issue? This is not just something so menial. This is actually programming, and it's also normalizing stuff. And I even covered this in a recent video talking about the whole like LGBT stuff, and look at how society has accepted all of that and how quickly that it has versus when it didn't. And what had to do with that? A lot that had to do with that was the programming that we received from our entertainment. And so they can normalize some pretty very sinful and evil things if you see it enough in entertainment and you see it enough in a positive light. Well, then before you know it, you are going to be programmed to some degree, especially if you continue to partake in this kind of stuff. So what I expect to see from here, now it really depends, because why do I want to have a shred of optimism? I don't know, but lately I kind of want to, because what we've seen in Trump's America, the tides are turning. You are seeing massive changes all around. First of all, what we found out with the USAID stuff, funding a ton of these things, because that was all pushing this demonic ideology. But the thing is now that that's not a thing, and all this BlackRock funding and all this and that, and these companies actually have to focus on making money, it's like, maybe they'll actually care about making money this time, because they're not going to be receiving funding from corrupt sources that are pushing a demonic agenda. That doesn't change the fact that the people who are obviously working at Amazon in this case and who are part of this project are most likely probably some of the most heinous people imaginable, as is with anybody in Hollywood. I mean, I say anybody, obviously not everybody, but a lot of Hollywood is run by, as we know, it's corrupt. I mean, even look at all the speculations and all of the conspiracies around that, even from other actors and things like that who talk about what's going on. What Mel Gibson has said, what's going on, that it's that Hollywood is filled with a bunch of PDF files, right? And I think that's very believable. What Roseanne Barr has said, and we're talking human sacrifice. We're talking all kinds of dark stuff, right? And I think that these allegations do seem believable when it comes to Hollywood, especially knowing like, hey, Satan is running the world right now. And of course, Satan is going to have his grubby paws in the entertainment industry with TV shows, with movies, even with video games. And that's why even video games have gotten so degenerate. Obviously, not all of them. There are some good exceptions. Thank goodness. I have been absolutely loving the Tomb Raider remasters right now. But you do see a lot of what I've been speaking out against, what a lot of other people have been speaking out against. Just industry-wide, there has been this push for demonic ideology, the transgender stuff, the gay stuff, the fornication stuff. It's like they are pushing this onto people and corrupting people. So, while yes, there obviously are going to be corrupt people a part of this, but a part of me just hopes that they just want money more than they want to push their corrupt narratives. That is my hope. And if that's the case, and I was just talking about this on Quartercast earlier, if that's the case, they could really surprise everybody. They could just come out and say, hey guys, Henry Cavill is the next James Bond. That would be free money, printed money. Like that in itself, if they announced Henry Cavill, then we'd be like, oh, okay, then this probably won't be woke. That would automatically be the assumption there. Because everybody's always, it's always, what are they going to do? Are they going to finally try to put a woman on there? Are they finally going to try to put a troon on there? Or are they going to, do some race swap, this and that? And you know what? Even when it comes to like obviously, I think putting a white masculine man in the role is the ideal, because I mean, come on, it's James Bond. But I know I've said this before, and I kind of see people would be willing, some people would be willing to make an exception for someone like Idris Elba, who is a masculine male, but he is black. So it's like, do I think something like that would inherently ruin it? But no, but I also don't think that that would be the ideal thing to do here, especially because people are so burnt out of the woke stuff that I don't think that even if they did put Idris on there, and let's pretend Idris would do an amazing job, I still think it would be met with more skepticism than acceptance at the very beginning, because it would be like, oh, this is woke. You just assume it's woke. Even if, let's say, it wasn't, you would just assume it was. So I definitely don't think that that would be a smart move for them to do. Now, discussing this with chat on Quartercast made me think of, because initially it was just like, oh, easy, Henry Cavill, right? Somebody suggested, some people are also suggesting Jason Statham. I think Jason Statham would not be a bad choice. I could see him doing well in a role like this. Not like I wouldn't think that would be the best pick, but hey, he could work. But somebody suggested Tom Hardy. I know, but hear me out. I think it could work. This depends on how the writing is within stuff. If they really want to keep that like, sophisticated, super clean cut, all that, well then yeah, obviously Henry Cavill is the easy choice for that. But if they do want to give him a little edge, Tom Hardy can work. But I'm curious to know what you guys think in the comments below. Who do you think should be the next James Bond? And do you think that this is DOA? Or is there a possibility that they might actually care about money and want to make the audience happy? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. As always, if you want me to read the Bible to you, you can check out my Bible channel at Bible Time with Melanie Mack. I would love to see you there. We are moving along, almost done with reading the whole Bible there. But thank you all again. I'll catch you next time. And in the meantime, go boom.